Bada bang, baby. It's currently the 8th of March, 8:16 p.m., both for me and Tony Slam, one of my most prominent co-hosts. Well, the other guys have been busy. You know, we've all been busy, but I'm a little less busy than the rest of them, so no shade thrown on anyone. We're all busy motherfuckers. We're busy bees. But this is going to be a very innovative, I think, Crosscast, because we are finally diving headfirst into the counterculture vein of the trap metal community. Tony is associated with BioFreak Records, and we have two other artists from BioFreak Records in call, that being KrazyWhiteBoy and Freakshow. Yokoso, welcome to the Crosscast, boys. How are we doing tonight?
Beautiful. Thanks for having us, brother.
Absolutely.
Great, baby. Excited to be on with you guys. Two of my best friends are here, Freakshow and Tony Slam. You already know. And it's great to meet you as well and be on your podcast.
Thank you. It's not just my podcast anymore. Let's make one thing clear for the culture. This is equally Tony Orc King and Derek Connolly of Nithful's show as well, especially as we get deeper and deeper, possibly balls deep, but we'll see, into 2025, attempting to do as many innovative sessions as possible. We're talking trap metal sessions. We're talking about bringing limelight to South Africa and its very, very new and infantile trap metal scene with the Dark Verse Syndicate featuring a prior guest, that being Sean, otherwise known as Vulgar X, and everybody associated with him, for their metal scene is growing for sure. But they're kind of having their own Suicide Boys / Ghost Main moment down there. And needless to say, we always love to touch different parts of the world as far as limelight and spotlight. We were just over in the island of Malta, tucked away in the Mediterranean Sea, with Claudio and Jack from, Maltese MySpace deathcore band, or new wave MySpace deathcore band, Hena, which is actually French for hate. And then before that, we actually reached over into Norway for the first time with Eidik and Stein from Celestial Scourge. They just released a new album called Observers of the Inevitable. And really the only reason that I got introduced to them was because of a very iconic deathcore / death metal artist, that being Caesar Aldrian from Spain. Someone who has worked with bands such as Mortem Obscurum, the Stygian Complex, Shrine, and plenty of other names in the deathcore and death metal scene.
MySpace deathcore is on a fucking revive, baby!
It's on a revive. It's on a revive. And speaking of that...
Gentlemen, not to interrupt you, Sean.
You're good.
A toast.
A toast.
To BioFreak Records and to the Anatomy Crosscast.
Here, y'all.
Here. And puff, puff, right? Man, I'm waiting, not gonna lie, I'm waiting for our next session where someone just has a fucking nug of weed and they just have it right up to the camera, like Hunter from Hunt the Dinosaur did for the first Sorrow Eater session. That shit was iconic, bro. Caught me the hell off guard, I'll tell you what. But, speaking of MySpace deathcore, one of our recent guests is... Oh, there you go.
I got you. Give me 1 sec.
We got two? While we're waiting for drum roll. Hey, it's a bong.
This dirty ass bong water.
Mm-hmm. That shit looks like tea, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I smoke weed non-stop all day.
There you go.
It's the fucking BioFreak grandpa.
Oh, yeah. Good shit.
In about a month.
What's up?
I'm about to have my third grandkid in about a month.
Oh, shit. Congrats on that. I'm still waiting to have kids, let alone grandkids.
Oh, yeah, he's How old are you now? 62?
85.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
85.
You don't look a day over 90.
Damn. But to briefly, oh, you're good. Grandpa BioFreak, hit it off.
Smoke it up, boy.
Smoke it up.
Alright. And Freak Show, I just got your MP3. I will get to it when we have a moment.
Ilya, brother. We're about to have a seriously good start to the fucking trap metal culture here on the Anatomy Crosscast. I'll tell you what. But if I may, you guys mentioned MySpace and the MySpace revival. Recently, our most recent session as well with the Orc King coming back, in which he dove into the snow up in Columbus, Ohio, was with Zach Diebold of I Saw God, a Maryland local MySpace deathcore band that is also connected to Thus Spoken Zarathustra, which we also hope to get on the show sometime this year. But boys, we got a lot of different culture kickstarting this year. We got a lot of early starts, a lot of early grinds going on, and therefore big moves are happening in the counterculture world. But I have to say, you know, with bands like Nine Dead or Tracheotomy, it's been really cool to see the MySpace era return. And well, I am highly anticipating what will be at some point this year, if not next year. It's soon enough. That's the point. That's the most important part. The Orc King will be helping us do an audio presentation for MySpace, whether the first wave or the second one. And then Tony, I try to mention this as much as possible, especially when we have him in call. But he will not only be doing a research project very similar to the Orc King for Slam, but chances are I'm going to attempt to convince him, attempt to coerce him, despite how busy he already is, into doing something for trap metal as well. That way, all of our audience around the world, primarily in the US, secondarily, currently in New Zealand, and triaterally in Australia, quaterally in Indonesia, the list goes on. We're reaching all around the world. So we might not be a big podcast right now, but we are bigger than 2021 and how we were then when it was just me. And the important part is, gentlemen, we're reaching all around the world. There's only a couple superpower countries left, like China, Japan, that we have yet to touch as far as getting involved with their music scene and getting networking kickstarted over in their countries. So I'm very proud of how far we have come, but I look forward to the absolutely internationally overwhelming numbers that we will be seeing here in the near future, and I'm confident in that. Confident enough to say that hopefully one day it won't just be over the phone. Hopefully one day we will have the funding and money to go ahead and actually take all of the co-hosts for the Anatomy Crosscast around the world. Wouldn't that be fucking sick, eh? But to do that, to get that started, everyone who's listening to this, who happens to be listening to this, one way to help us make this happen in the near future will be jumping onto the Crosscore Patreon. $3 a month to support 5 different channels worth of content, whether early access to this session, early access to Sean Cross content, or quite literally, possibly, if Tony, Derek, and the Orc King are interested, getting their content on there early on, week early access. If we can get enough crowdfunding from our collective algorithms, and then also get a whole bunch of people pulled in for $3 a month from maybe the audience of all the bands that we've hosted so far, well, we will definitely have the means to travel, but we will need your help if you want to see that happen. The moment it does, well, not only will there be thank you videos to each and every one of you, but there will just be a lot more opportunities to do what we want to do. Oh, what's up? What is it? What is that, Tony? What is that? Oh, that's for Freak Show. Fuck yeah. All right. We got Freak Show CD. Yeah. So, I think I've talked enough as far as getting the session kick-started. Tony, one thing I've been wanting to do since I acquired more co-host is having my co-host who wanted to get said artist onto the show. I want you to go ahead and give me your introduction and kind of give me and the audience a glimpse. Like, who are these people? Why the hell did you want them on? Of course, that's a joke. We love everybody who comes on. But, Tony.
I found these lovely homeless gentlemen on the street, and I acquired them when they had nothing to eat, and I fed them some McDonald's and all that good shit. No, these are my good friends from the BioGang collective. On the bottom, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is my buddy Slim, and on the right here is my buddy Freakshow, and he's also in so they both make. Slim doesn't so much make trap metal, but he makes what's considered punk rap, which is like kind of in the punk rap, baby.
That's sick.
So it's kind of adjacent to trap metal, but it's kind of its own experimental genre at the moment. I know there's a few artists who have kind of floated around with that name a little bit in the past. Like, I know Xavier Wolf from Sesh Hall Waterboys was throwing around that name back in the old like SoundCloud rap era days and stuff like that. And then Freakshow, on the other hand, so this is where I think your interest will peak, Sean, is Freakshow's in a metal band too. So it's
Okay.
a metal band called Asylums, but I think that it would be better for to let them give their backgrounds, but before they do, I will say that my good friend Slim down here, we met through a mutual friend of ours named Neutron, otherwise known as Matthew Leonard, and that was this is some fucking real Tony Slam lore, Sean. So fucking Neutron, otherwise known as Matthew Leonard, was a high school friend of my mom's back in the day that he went to high school with her, and he was making all sorts of he's a rapper too and an artist and stuff like that, and makes music as well. And me and Slim have worked with Neutron in the past in a studio making music and stuff like that. That's kind of how I started making some of the first like Tony Slam releases for my trap metal stuff.
Okay.
Was through Neutron, because he has a studio called Voodoo Doll. What is it? Slim, is it
Voodoo Child Studios.
Voodoo Child Studios, and it was originally called Tomorrow Kids or something like that.
Oh, I think he still has the neon light for it still. I forget what it is. But
Yeah.
It was originally something. Then he collabed with another guy who engineers with Sublime and other people, and they kind of made this collective of Voodoo Child Studios, and it's I believe it's three engineers. I could be wrong on this, but I believe it's three engineers. And they all kind of collab together and everything, and work with other artists and themselves.
Yes. So, like I said, Matthew Leonard, he used to go by Lil Leonard back in the day. That was like his name because he was originally making garage band hip hop beats in his garage and stuff like that, and was DJing and stuff like that. And like I said, it was a very good old high school friend of my mom's and stuff like that. And so, about 2 years ago now, he threw a show called, what was it, Slim? It was
it was like a Christmas ball or something.
It was a Christmas open mic or something like that, and he booked me, he booked KrazyWhiteBoy, and that's how me and Slim fucking met. And man, those were fun. That was a fun night, Slim. Now I'm thinking about it.
When I thought, because I think I performed before you, but you was, a lot of people were jamming both our stuff, but you was super hyped on it, headbanging, starting a little stuff like that, because you liked the punk and the rap and the trap that I had in there and the guitars. And so once you performed, and I was like, holy shit, we're kind of on the same level. We're not on the style here. So then we started talking outside, and I was just like, yo, I'm with this group called BioFreak. I'm signed to them. I would love to just get you just in the studio with them. And immediately you clicked with everybody, and you was like, yo, Freakshow is the owner of BioFreak Records. As a collective, we are BioGang. The guys who are signed, like me and Tony, are BioFreak. And I immediately just hit it off. You came in. We're all family. We're not just a collective. We're actual family. We all live together. We all fucking hang. We are that tight. and you literally was like, oh, this fool should already be in here, like.
Yeah, though it was definitely like a love at first sight moment for sure. Because I was like, dude, other guys who make similar, almost adjacent music that I'm into as well. Like, let's fucking go. I've been, because I've been literally doing rap since like 2017, and I was just I never knew anybody else who liked like trap metal or anything like that. All my homies who were into like hip hop and rap were like, nah, that shit sucks. Like, I'm into Tupac and fucking, Biggie Smalls and Eazy-E, and it's like, those guys are cool, no shade on them, but it's like, nobody's into like, like juggalo rap and fucking, alternative rap and stuff like that. Like it's very niche, like, it's a very niche part of the hip-hop underground, so to speak. And then, like Slim was saying, Sean, is like, that's when he introduced me to like Freakshow and Jay Bentley and Blinky and all the guys from Demented and stuff like that, all the guys from BioFreak, and it just like, we hit it off ever since. And I mean, honestly, Freakshow, you should just close it out, to be honest.
Well, yeah, we ended up meeting Slam, and he just clicked right away. BioFreak is all about, we're a home for the misfits. We're where people who don't have a family, who don't fit in anywhere, you fit in with us. And it's all about starting BioFreak for acceptance, bring everybody in, give everybody a chance. Everybody should be able to express themselves through music. Everybody should be able to have people backing them if they want to move forward and better their lives through music and through having a team to support them. And we're quickly growing in our underground scene. I myself, I have a couple of trap metal tracks for sure. I started out doing, being a metalhead, playing in metal bands, singing, playing guitar, bass, everything, and all sorts of bands over the last like 10, 15 years. Then I heard this song that was just god awful. I was like, you know what? I'm already a big fan of underground horrorcore and gore hop and juggalo shit. So, you know what? I'm gonna try my hand at doing some hip hop. So I started it up.
By the way, the track you heard that was god awful was one of my tracks, probably.
Yeah, your music sucks.
Well, that's what none of us are world famous yet, right?
No, that's great.
Yeah, man, I'm all across the board. I make every... I like to be challenged. I'll tell somebody, like, yo, throw me on something that isn't my style, and watch me kill that shit.
Fuck yeah.
So, I have experience in metal, punk, alternative rock. I've done some trap tracks. I've done some like boom bap, West Coast fucking banger tracks, some club banger tracks. But my love is the underground, the horrorcore.
Fair enough. Yeah. And right off the bat, what I love, and I think, just with what you've both have said so far, I understand why Tony wanted to bring you guys onto the show so much, and that is because of your authentically true counterculture brain upstairs, what you guys got going on upstairs. Because for me, the Anatomy Crosscast only becomes the world's only true counterculture show when you have people who are very openly inclusive. And that isn't to say that anyone before that we've hosted on the show isn't that way. In fact, the exact opposite, right? We want to make it to where no matter who you are, and I mean that, no matter who you are, unless if you're actually prejudiced against a certain people, a certain culture, which we don't fucking do that here. We haven't done it since the beginning, and that'll be a culture that prevails into the near future, right? Like,
I hate dread-headed Puerto Ricans.
Dread-headed Puerto Ricans, especially when they have red dreads, like it's piercing. And then they try to
No.
Dude, I hate it. I fucking hate it when white people just like think that they can like mix punk music and you know rap music together. It just sounds like shit, and then they do nothing but jam Broken Side all fucking day long, dude. Like,
Yeah.
God, people who wear glasses, man, I don't know, man. It's just not.
Fucking heard that.
Slim said, "You wouldn't beat a guy with glasses, would you?" No, be a guy with glasses.
I can see what you did
It's
there.
like anybody who's got 4 eyes is definitely a freak.
Hey, man, that's why I'm proud to be a freak.
Hey, I'm proud to be a freak, baby.
Hey, boys.
Gang, gang.
Welcome to our freak show.
Welcome to the Anatomy Crosscast, right?
Welcome to the freak cast.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
BioFreak Crosscast session part 1, baby. No, it's
Yeah.
honestly like when it comes to true counterculture to me, and like I said, that's how I define you guys' philosophies right now. It's just very important to be like open-minded and to be strange to most and go against the grain. And that's what half of trap metal or punk rap or deathcore or fucking like there are so many subgenres now, and there's always room to try something new that builds upon a recently made foundation. As per the term, nothing is really original anymore, but it's whether or not you care and have that philosophy, that statement in the back of your mind or not. If you're constantly obsessing then about like, oh, none of what I make is going to be original, that's not exactly true because you are making it. And then once you're able to orbit a community around that and build numbers, build a group of record label or whatever around that idea, well, that's your foundation right there. That's the most important step, is just making sure to do your best to be original because it's you making that, but also not rejecting like a kid running away from his parents' house or something, just rejecting their parents and like, I'm not associated with you whatsoever. I'm doing my own thing. Or that whack-ass Pinocchio animated film where he's like, I gotta get out, father. I gotta go see the world. Like, it's the same thing. The same thing, you know? It's...
Hey, we have a saying in the underground that is it said a lot, and that's fuck the mainstream.
Fuck the mainstream. With that
What do you mean,
freaking
what's
dragon-sized
that?
dildo.
Fuck the mainstream.
Yeah, dude. All about that dragon, like 12-inch dragon dildo just right up the ass of the mainstream culture. Like,
That's the BioFreak. When you signed to BioFreak Records, your signing bonus is actually a horsecock dildo. So you can go fuck yourself and other people with it.
Funny story. We did a past vocalist for my metal band Asylum. Somehow he came up on a box of dildos. So he drove
No,
around
come out.
LA.
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, he drove around LA sticking giant 12-inch dildos with suction cups and super gluing them to the hoods of people's cars.
Oh my god.
God.
a rear ending will never be the same. You just hear from the front seat driver.
You're telling me this man had a box of dildos and put them on people's cars and I didn't get one on my car? I feel offended.
There's a lot of dragon cock on the LA interstate these days.
So we know it wasn't your former vocalist. We know they were yours.
Yeah.
Pretty on brand for the name.
You know, I still never found out what happened to that guy.
No, I think you did.
Our vocalist, and then he said, "Oh, I owe some people some money, so I have to sell my PA speakers." And I was like, "Well, here, let me buy your PA speakers. You can still use them." So I gave him some money and got a great deal for him. But then he deleted all of his social media and disappeared. Nobody heard from him in like 4 years.
See, the thing is, Freakshow here decided to pull a Pawn Stars, and he's like, the best I can do for you is a box of Amazon dildos. That's it.
That was a pro bono.
Aha, pro bono. Ah.
That's the package deal you get when you sign with BioFreak.
All about that organic match my freak energy, whether in the studio or outside of the
I
studio.
was telling the boys earlier, hey, they don't call us BioFreak for no reason.
All organic. They're like, what do you mean all organic? They're like, you'll find out eventually. See, the thing is, they chop the dicks off of the dragons.
Me personally, I was super happy when Freakshow gave me, when I signed to BioFreak and I actually got my first my big dildo, because my girlfriend actually uses that more than me. Obviously, mine's like a hard nipple with hair. But
damn.
Freakshow, thank you for finally giving me something to flex my woman with. I know she's super happy. She walks in, she'll thank you as well. So appreciate that.
You can cook up an ad now saying, thank you, BioFreak Records, for supplying us with these dildos from Amazon.
Oh, yeah, yes.
My sex life has never been better.
Well, the best part is that each dildo is actually a mold of Freakshow's cock.
Oh,
So
damn.
it's not the biggest thing. It's not the biggest thing, it's been magnified, but
Yeah.
Freakshow says, I'm no OG Mudbone, but, like, I provide.
This is weirdly turning into like one of those. I know Freak and Slim don't know like really about the gore grind scene, but like I know that for sure Sean knows about gore grind, of how every fucking live show is like at least one guy in the pit is throwing around a bunch of dildos and shit like that in like the porno grind and gore grind shows.
it's me.
He's at every single show.
Forehead, like, what?
I'm a unicorn.
Sean, I'm gonna put you on a band to check out. I'm sure you've probably seen them floating around, but check out Goodalax when you get the chance.
Goonalax, okay.
Goodalax. It's like gore grind with like the type vocals or whatever the fuck, that type of shit.
Yeah.
And literally like some of their live shows, it's like people. There's fucking naked people in the fucking like crowd and shit, just like crowd surfing with a fucking G-string on, dude. It's crazy.
I always still love the band Broja.
Oh, dude. No shit. I used to be homies with the vocalist of that back in the day.
The old one or the newer one?
The older one.
Jacob Wallace, okay.
For those who are watching, this right here is a normal conversation that the three of us just always have.
Just always have.
But this doesn't even feel like an interview right now, right there, a podcast. This feels like I'm just in the studio talking to my boys about dildos and cock.
We're just monetizing off a brain-rotted conversation. Let's be real, boys.
You know what, Sean? We've been overdue for a really brain-rotted episode, so I think this fits in perfectly for the agenda.
Oh, dude. Well, what agenda? This is our nature. Yeah.
I did want to kind of transition into some of the more hard-hitting questions because I know Sean's itching to get into those. Maybe we'll start with because Slim, I know your backstory pretty well, I'd say. So I think we'll let Freakshow go first, and then we'll go you. But Freak, I still don't really have a definitive answer of how you started doing music, and I kind of wanted you to explain all that and you know what I mean? You kind of gave me the brief background at a couple parties, but every time we've hung out together, I feel like it's always just bullshitting around and never being oh, how did you start music? Because it's like we don't other artist to artist peers don't really dig their fucking each other's brains as far as what was the very first fucking project you ever did? What and so how did you start making music? Did you just decide one day to be you know what, I want to fucking do this and this is where I'm gonna keep going? Or did you decide one day no, I'm a rapper now, or maybe not even a rapper but just a musician?
I got my first guitar for my birthday when I was 13. And I didn't really do too much with it, but
who's playing music?
Sorry, I have a band. I live in a band, and they're jamming downstairs.
Oh, it was like, what the fuck?
So, segment, I'm starting a band. I'm the lead singer of it. But they're all jamming downstairs, trying to get shit ready. I don't have a soundproof house. I'm full of apologies here. But,
No, you're good. You're good.
Like, bitch.
As long as we don't get demonetized, it's okay.
That's all original shit. They ain't fucking doing nothing good. But anyway, Freak, yo, go on though.
So, I ended up joining in like 6th grade middle school fucking band, learning how to play trumpet. And I was in all the school bands from 6th grade all the way through high school, marching band, symphony, jazz band, all that. I played a dozen different instruments in all the different bands. And but you like,
What's up?
I can't even hear myself.
Okay.
So, yeah, a dozen different instruments in different bands throughout the school. I played guitar, but then I had a really good friend of mine who played guitar as well, and in BioFreak, he is known as Matty Ice.
Oh,
So me and Matty Ice have been very good friends since we were like 15 years old.
Shit.
So whenever he had parties, I'd go over to his parties and I'd be playing guitar for everybody. And we decided to create a band with a bunch of our other friends. And our very first band was an alternative rock punk band called the Forgotten Heroes. We wrote a single song and performed it one time at an open mic night at the local music store. That song was called Fight to Survive. And it was garbage. But then I ended up being the singer for that band, and then we broke up and blah, blah, blah. Started joining different bands, and then after high school, I joined a band as the bassist called Facts and Figures. And we ended up getting pretty big in the metalcore scene, playing with Winds of Plague and The Word Alive, The Color Morale, Misery Signals. So we played a bunch of shows with a bunch of people, got pretty popular, started talking about record deals and all that with, Artery and Sumerian. And then I actually got kicked out of that band because I wouldn't dress and do what I was told to. I wanted to write my own parts, and I wouldn't look stereotypical metalcore enough for them.
So this is like circa 2010 or something like that.
You're telling me they kicked you out because you wouldn't wear a pair of skinny jeans?
No, I would wear skinny jeans too. That wasn't the problem. It was, I looked to new metal, and they wanted me to be more metalcore, but then they would tell me they wanted me to play what they told me to play instead of writing my own parts, which I wasn't for, and I wasn't about shut up and do as you're told when I'm the one selling most of the tickets for our shows and all that. And then so they kicked me out, and then they the drummer and one of the vocalists were people I brought into the band. They played 2 shows, and then they quit to join my new band. They played 1 more show and broke up. But then different bands, I put together a band called Clarity Through Suffering, and then I was in a band Fury 86, and this band, that band, and all came up to me creating my band Asylum. And us as Asylums, we played with Attila, we played with As Blood Runs Black a whole bunch of times.
Holy shit.
We played with members of Slipknot.
Really?
we cover a Slipknot song, and a buddy of ours who worked with Slipknot fucking showed them our cover, and we got co-signed by Slipknot, so that was cool. Up for the Ventura County Music Awards, we were part of the Big Four of all of Ventura County. We definitely made a name for ourselves. And then we broke up, but BioFreak started because I had an idea for a show because the punk and the metal scene in Ventura County was split. Everybody was bumping heads. So I went to my local venue and I was like, yo, I want to put on metal versus punk. And they were like, dope, we love it. Come up with a production name. And I was like, well, I'm Freak Show, and the Biohazard's been always been my symbol, so BioFreak Productions. We got so many submissions from all over Ventura and LA County for that show that we had to have a punk battle of the bands and a metal battle of the bands, and the top three of each show moved on to metal versus punk. So then we started throwing more shows, and all over the place, and started blowing up until some shit went down and really fucked up the whole scene. A lot of local venues started shutting down, and bands were breaking up, and all because of some dumbass shit and jealousy and all that. And then BioFreak broke up. Asylums broke up. I put it back together. I got tired of fucking dealing with these other audio engineers, so I started building up my own recording studio. I woke up one day, decided I wanted to rap, met Blinky, he introduced me to Bentley, and we created BioFreak Records, and just started moving on from there.
BioFreak! That's a lot.
Asylums is still together. We have a new vocalist, and we are working on a 14-track full-length.
Woo! Woo! Damn. We about to have Freak Show show up for more than just fucking Freak Show in the near future. This dude.
So I am solo as Freak Show. I am the owner of BioFreak Records. I am a proud member of the Mask Gang. I am a proud member of Demented. I'm one half of the group Brothers of Chaos, and getting sponsored by Blind Death Clothing. I got a lot going on.
And then, not to mention, you just put out an album.
Yes, my new album, Goat Eater, that is calling out all the motherfuckers who want to sit there and say that they are the goats, that they're the greatest, and I'm going to devour these motherfuckers. I got tracks of all different styles, a bunch of fucking rap metal tracks. Definitely, Sean, I definitely think you would enjoy my track Proud to Be a Freak. And then my track Monster is a trap metal track that the instrumental was made all by Mr. Tony Slam right here.
Fuck yeah. Good shit. No, that's a lot. Like, Tony, what a great way to kickstart our trap metal sessions, eh?
Yes, sir.
It's crazy to think that every now and then, like, for example, one of our upcoming sessions will actually be hosting a former member of Thy Art Is Murder. And, yeah, dude, Exile from Agartha, Tony, is going to be a deathcore project that Johnny from Carcosa and Angel Maker just did a vocal cover for. But this guy used to be the old drummer for Thy Art Is Murder, and apparently he has a lot to say about Mr. CJ. Not great things, but stuff that hasn't been said before, some stuff that hasn't been unearthed before. But he's like, you know what? I think it's finally time to unleash all this shit. So we'll do that on the Crosscast. I'm like, not to be that guy, but cool. Like,
yeah, I mean, you want to fucking air out your dirty laundry on here, I guess we'll listen.
Yeah. Someone's got to be the laundromat every now and then, but disclaimer.
Air out dirty laundry?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Slim doesn't shave his butthole.
Well, we knew that.
Hang on. In my defense, I cannot grow facial hair, but if you've seen my ass, it's just like a kelp forest.
Literally the kelp forest from SpongeBob.
Yeah. I'll show you guys there.
Imagine that. Fucking whoop.
Podcast, right?
Yeah. You know, it's okay. We can censor it post.
Well, you'll be doing all of that, bro. That's all you, buddy.
That's why you gotta subscribe to our Patreon so you can see the uncensored.
Oh my god. Maybe.
On YouTube.
Only BioFreaks.com.
You know how women only do, well, not only women do OnlyFans, but you know how a lot of women do OnlyFans? We'll set up an OnlyFans for just BioFreak male members, and then it'll be all of us in the same room together, going like this against the wall.
I'm trying to find somebody that'll be my foot pimp and hook me up on Foot Finder and all that. Got tattooed toes, so I'm sure there's some super sick fuck that wants to pay me to jerk off to my feet.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Look, I jerk off to your feet, but I don't pay you. Is that a problem?
Time to pay up, motherfucker.
It's good for you to pay your fucking label dues.
My label dues.
Yes, okay, Slam, but Slim here is special. Like, he's special.
Like, I'm window licking short
Yeah,
butt.
he's special, alright. But yeah, so he put out God. He put out that album and I produced one of the tracks for it. I had no idea that he was going to use it until like literally I think like a month before he dropped it. And because I figured he was just going to use it for like a single or something like that. So I produced one of the tracks for that album, and then I'm also featured on the second track called Welcome. And that's just me, him, T. Lollyrot, and who else?
Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley. Shout out to that crazy motherfucker, Jay Bentley.
Jay Bentley.
Assassin.
The lyrical assassin. Someone needs to make a meme of Bentley wearing the Assassin's Creed hoodie and then just put a lyrical assassin at the bottom.
Yeah, just having the lyrics written.
Yeah, well, my album just came out last month, but you know what? Next month, on March 13th, we get Jay Bentley's new album, Lost.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and on March 13th, you guys fucking get a new Tony Slam music video.
Nice.
Whoop.
Yes, sir. Preserved Lemons, the Super Bowl party music video.
Nice.
That I did with Getty Boys, Danny Boy, Solo Dope, like all great friends and rap homies from fucking Long Beach, California. Just my fucking dogs, man. Fucking and then Classified too, which I'm sure you guys have seen Classified roaming around, Slim and Freak. That's the homie. He lives like literally 5 minutes from my house or whatever, because he's from OC, and we just got at a Super Bowl party, and we're just like, yep, we're gonna shoot a fucking Super Bowl music video.
Hell yeah.
And we got the fucking part where Kendrick Lamar is like singing the "Not Like Us" diss on the halftime session. And you can literally just see my buddy Jonathan fucking like dancing to it like in the music video or whatever.
Right.
That's dropping on March 13th too. So two things to look out for, audience.
2 things to look out for. Hell yeah. Well, boys, so we ended up getting a pretty good look into Freakshow's background. I don't think, Tony, unless if you've kind of explained most of it, I think it's time for KrazyWhiteBoy to tell us a little bit more about his background.
I think it's time.
I think it's time. Take it away, Slim.
So my background is a little different, or maybe the same as some people. I grew up pretty rough. I grew up like on the street. I'm from LA. I'm from South Bay, LA. As a South Bay shit. I grew up literally like selling drugs on the street to survive, to get shoes. My parents were divorced. I moved in to live with my dad. we were so broke, we didn't even have like a couch. We had 2 lawn chairs. My dad was never home, always working, or when, you know, he was on his weekends, he'd want to spend time with his girlfriend, so instead, we didn't have food in the house. I would ask him for fucking money for shoes. He couldn't afford them, so I started stealing shit from the malls and stuff, and joining up with cliques and gangs and shit to literally just sell drugs. I always wanted to, as a kid, I always wanted to, like, first I wanted to be an actor and shit. I was like, all right, I want to do that. That'd be fun. But then when, like, I saw, like, Chris Brown's Run It and Soulja Boy's Crank That, I was like, yo, I want to be that guy, you know? But I didn't want to do hip-hop necessarily. I wanted to, like, mix metal and stuff in there because my dad was on tour with, like, Metallica and Nine Inch Nails. He was one of the he was one of their riggers. He did their rigging for, like, Michael Jackson, Metallica, Nine Inch Nails.
Damn!
Hey,
Yeah,
Rig
so
up.
I do that as well.
Tony, no.
Yeah.
You can't hit him with the hard R.
Yeah. What?
Hey, Rigga, right?
Yeah, rigger with a hard R. That's what that is.
Oh my
Rigger with a
god.
hard R. So fucking, I still do that. I do rigging. I build all the big festivals, all that Structure Sex, all that stuff for like EDC, Coachella, things like that. But I wanted to do music early on. I just didn't know how, and I was so focused on just staying afloat with, you know, my dad paying the bills and me paying for food and clothes and just shit like that. I didn't really know. But then my homegirl started going out with a very famous rapper called Manuel Daniels. He made the song Buzzin', and Return of the Mac, and like a bunch of very radio hits with 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, shit like that. And I had hit her up, and I was like, yo, I want to record, and I know you're recording, you know, I want to make music. Is there any way that you can get me in the studio? And she's like, yeah, me and Man need a ride to Inglewood right now, or like tonight or whatever, you know. And I gave him a ride, met up with a producer and engineer called Animal, shout out Animal. I met up with him, and I was like, yo, is there any way I can record? And he gave me prices for beats and studio time, and it was affordable. And I was like, all right, cool, boom. So I was so then right after high school, this was after I was like 20 years old or 19 when this happened.
Damn.
I fucking right after I started, so I would do my 9 to 5 at my rigging metal fabrication shop that I was doing, and every weekend I would spend all of my money just fucking recording and getting this fucking music done. I was going through a breakup at the time, so I focused on a lot of that stuff. Finally, after like a year of working with him, or maybe a little less, I dropped my first EP, which was 5 songs called Fuck My Ex, Volume 1. Actually, first I dropped a single, and that single went viral around my neighborhood because not a lot of people in my hood were fucking even first recording music, let alone were they mixing like rap and screamo and all this stuff that I was doing and trying to do. And so the song went great, the music video went great, the album went great. And then my life was just changing out of the street life, out of drugs, you know, out of all that stuff, and into music and more rigging. My rigging career was going up, and my music career was actually a career now, not just me trying to have it as something. Then I started working with people from like 19 Hate. He's from Canada and Russia and stuff. I started working with him. I started working with Sarzi Rack. Sarzi Rack is out of New Orleans. I started just working with people, with real other artists that liked my music and were like, yo, we want to collab too. We want to collab. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I started just doing that. I started doing shows at the Whiskey A Go-Go, for Cottonmouth King, D-Gap, Head PE, all these bands that I looked up to. Now we're looking at me like, hey, we want you to open up for us, and now I became friends with all these people. And it was just super dope. And then I started my own record label called Punk Rap Records, and that was based out of Redondo Beach, which is my hometown. And I started Punk Rap Records for about a year or two, and then the house that we were at, Redondo, got torn down. And at that point, everything was super expensive. I was like, I'm just going to van life it for a little bit. So technically, I was homeless after that for a little bit. But my manager became one of Cottonmouth King's tour managers. My DJ moved off to Hawaii and is working at 5-star restaurants, DJing, other things and stuff like that. He's a great guy. And then the other artist I was working with, he started doing his own solo stuff. Me and him still talk. He wants to do an EP. We're in the works with that. I'm in the works right now with like 3 or like at least two big EPs. One's with Mr. Tony Slam right here. That's gonna be the Slim Slam album. I've got the Hollywood EP with Starzy Rax coming out. If you don't know who Starzy Rax is, he worked with Chris Brown, Crit Mac, Snoop Dogg, Drewski. He was on Drewski's TV show. We dropped a song called Hollywood, and now we're working on other stuff that both Mr. Slam and Mr. Freakshow have both had their hands on engineering and helping to produce. And basically after Punk Rap Records kind of went down because everybody just moved to other things, I went over, because Freakshow had wanted to sign me when he first saw me perform. We met at a Cottonmouth King show. I told him, I was like, yo, I like your shit. I just got my own stuff going on, but let's collab. We did collab on a song called Game Time. We managed to get Cody Manson on there as well.
Game time.
So I'm on the chorus, Freakshow's the verse, and Cody Manson's verse. But at that point, I was like, yo, so then I went over to Freakshow. I was like, you know what? Let me talk to him. And he's like, yeah, man, come on over. Let's talk about music. Went over there, and I told him, yo, just letting you know, I'm homeless right now, and my shit went down. It just, things happen, not in a bad way. It just shit happened. And he's like, you want to sign to BioFreak? I was like, yes, I do. And fucking because me and him were already good friends. Met up with the BioGang. Everybody was cool as fuck, except for Blinky. Fuck you, Blinky. No, I'm just kidding. Blinky's one of my absolute best friends. Everybody on the BioGang to me is actual family. I would ride, fight, kill, and die for him. And actually, Freakshow started housing me at his house when he could, and when I had days off, things like that. Now I have my own pad, building my own with some people I've known for about 15 years, building a band they've been wanting to build. And I make South Bay punk rap. A lot of my shit is punk rap. Why?
You were fucking doing this, and then it was like, Messenger was like, let me do this. I can't fucking do it. I think it's because I'm on my computer, but I was like, what the fuck?
But yeah, I fucking, what was it, basically I delve into punk rap. A lot of it is about the South Bay. If you don't know what the South Bay is where punk rock on the West Coast started. Black Flag, Pennywise, Turbo Jerks, D-Gap. They all started in Redondo, Hermosa. We call it Redondo, the South Bay area shit. Minutemen was in Pedro. It was just a bunch of punk rock was around that area. And there's murals of it in my hood. Anywhere you go, you'll see a punk rock mural, or you're gonna see like some LA rap murals, like Nipsey nowadays and things like that. So it was LA, so it was very punk and very rap, and I put it together. I ended up doing it. Well enough to have a career in it now, and but yeah, that's where my shit all started from. That's where I came from, and where I'm at now. I have a South Bay punk rap EP coming out, a music video coming out soon. It's just been lagging, but very soon, a week or two maybe. But that video coming out.
Big things coming.
Big thing, yeah. I just dropped a single. I just dropped the South Bay punk rap single. It's all over. I dropped it last week. It's all over Apple, iTunes, any platform, all music video platforms. Music video back comes out soon. EP is coming out. It's on the works. And then I have an EP with Slam, Starzy Rax. And I also have a punk rap EDM one, an emo punk rap, a country punk rap. I have a bunch of different genres with punk rap and style in it.
Bro, pick a struggle. Bro, pick a struggle.
I struggle with it all, man. I'll pick every struggle and I'll roll with it. Whatever I feel.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, I know you do, baby. And I've done a lot in the South Bay punk rap, to where I want to expand more into other stuff with other artists.
Dude, you've been yapping for like 20 minutes. Let Freakshow get a word in.
Fuck yeah, dude, exactly, right?
So, Sean, I saw your ears perk up when Slim said, started talking about head PE. Are you a fan?
All I know is that I always confuse Head PE with Brian Head Welch of Korn and his solo project, but I know that Steven Arango, formerly of Traitors, is now the drummer for Head PE. So I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Well, so it has not been anywhere yet. Details are not worked out, but in August, whoever is in California gets to check me out on tour with Head PE. We're doing, as far as I know for now, I will be doing a 10-day tour with Head PE, sharing a set with my brother Bruce of Metapelli on LSP. Shout out to LSP, shout out to GRE, Lyrical Snuff Productions, and Grim Reality Entertainment. My boy is putting me on his set. I'm going to be hyping him and doing some solo shit too. So that's gonna be a dope run.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, honestly, Tony.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I had like a whole tangent about like my like history so far with rap and hip hop and like my comfort zone so far. So it's going to be a long one. If you want to go ahead first, you can.
I was just gonna let Slim finish because I don't think he was done.
Yes, Slim, finish. Oh, you're mute. You're mute.
Sorry, the fans are there. So I was pretty much done with everything. Look out for fucking a couple EPs. I don't do full albums necessarily because I do so many different genres that I'm just doing a bunch of 5-song EPs. The EDM punk rap, the country punk rap, the emo punk rap, the Slim Slam album, the Starkey Rack EP. The only one that's going to be a full album of 10 songs is the South Bay Punk Rap album. I only have South Bay artists on there, and this is the reason why, is because people from my hood, there's not a lot of us that are doing this shit. And so I'm like, hey, the ones that are, let me get you on and get you more clout, because I do have huge clout in my neighborhood. A lot of people in Hollywood know who I am because I hung out there and was homeless there as well. So a lot of people just want to see authentic stuff from the South Bay, and that's what I'm bringing on my first full album. And that's pretty much where I'm ending. Yeah, South Bay! That's pretty much where I'm ending on mine. I am KrazyWhiteBoy with a K, K-R-A-Z-Y, White Boy. You'll find this on Crosscast on all music and media platforms. So please check me out if you enjoyed what you see here.
Yeah.
If you enjoy my music, give it a share.
Fuck yeah. So one thing I wanted to vocalize, because this is really the first opportunity I've had to talk about this in depth, but when it comes to rap and hip hop, just in general, I cannot say that I've dove in that far into trap metal, because if I'm being honest, bands like Suicide Boys and Ghostmane or the SoundCloud rap era, that actually like really irritated me with like some of the more mumble rap artists in that vein. It just kind of made me cringe back in the day. But what I can say is that there's this super group. I do believe that they are US and Canada based. I'm not sure. They're called Exociety. It consists of Rav, Kill Bill the Rapper, Square, Aerospace, I think, Love Sad Kid, No One Important, and a couple others. Really, that's my niche for rap so far. But it is quite evident to me that I have some homework to do outside of this Crosscast session. You guys are very ambitious. You have a lot of history behind you, outside of just being rappers, right? And that's always the cool thing, is when it's not just about like, yeah, I throw some verses down. It's like, nah, dude, I've worked with so many fucking bands. I've been a sound engineer. I have like 5 different albums coming out, 5 different EPs with like different niche applications to the overall thing I'm doing. That would be you, Slim. And then Freakshow, it's like, yeah, I'm about to tour with Head PE. 10-day run, like working with them. But I've been in so many bands. I've chambered through plenty of record label cycles too. Decided not to follow with the grain, went against the grain. The grain in the fields, like the farmer decided to kick me out with a scythe as he was clearing the cornfields or some shit. And just honestly, such a strong start so far. But very, very interested in how energetic you both are and how much ambition and passion that you have. Slim, I think back to, I think of my buddy Dustin Myers. He's done merch for a no longer existing AZ local slam band because of their idiot frontman who decided to go on an ego trip.
Slim doesn't know what slam is, by the way.
That's fine.
He only listens to like rap and like Broken Side.
Right, right.
Oh, hang on. You have taught me what slam is, but if we're gonna go into my, I'm a scene kid, so I'm straight out of Hot Topic with Hollywood Undead, Broken Side, Sleeping with Sirens, Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
Those are the bands that I listen to more on the melodic post-hardcore side.
No, yeah.
But when it comes to like the harder stuff, it would be like Attila, Anthrax, things like along those lines. For a slam though, I don't know slam that well, but my boy Tony Slam's been showing me slam. I love it all. Infinectomy is a very my boys like Infinectomy, and they don't like fucking anything.
They use 8 and 9-string guitars.
They're 40s and 50s, and they like
What'd you say, Freakshow?
8 and 9-string guitars.
Nice.
Period.
Yeah, but I don't even know what that is.
The guitar with more strings.
Look, I
nerd.
play one instrument, and that's the skin flute.
He does that pretty well.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I had to show them firsthand how I play the skin flute just so I can get signed to the record label.
Fair
What's
enough.
great is I didn't really know a lot about like slam itself. I was always more of like a metalcore, like aside from my love of new metal, I was always like a metalcore, deathcore guy. And then I got
Sean too.
in slam, started hanging out. He introduced me to some slam bands, and then I actually have a track with a band called Digest the Womb.
Dude, holy shit. You're on a track with them?
So they had hit me up and asked me to do a track with them, and so they just sent me a full instrumental, and I recorded all my vocals for it, and it made it more of I got more of an old school hardcore feel from it. So I went like old school hardcore with it, and so that I'm still waiting to hear from them when that's gonna come out.
Yeah.
If you guys want to bug them and be like, yo, we heard you got a track with Freak Show.
Freak Show's waiting, motherfuckers.
Them motherfuckers up.
No, Digest the Womb is sick. That is a Texas local death metal band that has recently been... Yeah. Shout out to Owen. But also to Deacon Scherer, because he is a buddy of the Orc King, the Crosscast first ever co-host. Yeah. And Deacon Scherer is, as far as I know, the last I...
No, not anymore.
Oh, not anymore, right. Okay, so he stepped away. But yeah, I remember him getting into that. And it's funny because I just showed my younger sister going through the Crosscast YouTube channel, going through the highlights, and we have one video talking about that, but you know, the information has been since outdated and needs to be corrected. But small world that you're hopping on a track with the band that I'm already like in the talks with. But who am I kidding? I'm in the talks with, and have like 40 plus bands in queue just waiting to get a session properly scheduled. We're around the clock, and when you're trying to do something so international and so global, you can't stop reaching out, because there's always a chance that the bands lose contact or their DMs get overwhelmed, blah, 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 or they become uninterested. So it's like, you got to have so many different backups. But it's cool that small world moment that we're having here, where Freak Show happens to be featuring on a track that I definitely plan to get on the show in the near future. So, hell yeah. Tony,
I do want to add one thing.
What's up?
Me and Mr. Slam, Tony Slam, we do have Broken Side getting on our EP as well. Want to throw that one out there because I love Broken Side. Curve we're trying to get. Millionaires. So we're working with some people right now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, I mean, let's see. As my time marker indicates, we are currently an hour and 5 minutes into this session. So very, very lovely conversation so far with some goofy ass dudes, but also some very passionate and ambitious musicians. One thing, I almost forgot it, but Slim, referencing to like your background and the fact that right now, after getting out of a not so great situation, you know, the music is on your mind. And that's why, as far as I'm concerned, I get the impression that the reason you're doing so much is because once upon a time you couldn't do anything. You didn't have the opportunity to do anything. Now you're like, motherfucker, I'm going to do everything that I can until the day I die. Music is in my veins. Beautiful. I love to hear that. Because possibly my own band, Blind, its future drummer, also went through a very similar process. And I mean, I think the details will be left to an album that I'm going to have him write eventually. And we're basically going to go year by year, like, okay, it's my turn. Who was the second member? Okay, you're going to write an album, and we're going to focus in, like, as if we're changing positions in the band, but not really. We're going to be doing that with every member that comes in. So, once it's his turn, I'm trying to coerce him into writing something. Of course, if it organically comes out as such, so be it. But I'm like, I think you should write an album that kind of caters towards like the King 810 new metal influenced rap sound. And I think you should write about the experiences that you had and the process that you've had to go to repent for what you did before. And he's like, yeah, man, absolutely. But he just got a job, so he's, what's up?
King 810.
King 810.
I'm pretty sure I just performed with them.
Really?
A couple ago.
That's pretty cool.
They were on with Heathen, Gun, and Shaggy Tudo.
Man, I'm not sure. All I know is that they're planning on going on tour soon with Left to Suffer, Upon a Burning Body, and Half Me, I think. So it's going to be a really good lineup, and I have every intention to go see them because
Upon a Burning Body is badass.
they are.
Yeah.
They got that Texas pride.
I think I just performed with King 810.
That's sick.
So.
We're definitely trying to get them on.
And then going with what you were saying about the album, my South Bay punk rap album is basically my diary of what I did when I was younger to progressing into music. It does have stories on that, and I trust me, I love exactly what you're saying. I do have some shit in mind. The South Bay punk rap album is definitely a story of my life. Growing up in South Bay, and where it's also, you're in LA, you're in fucking,
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to be on the streets, you got to be with the streets.
Yes,
If
exactly.
you're going to sell drugs, you're going to have competition. I've been in gnarly situations I'm surprised I'm alive in. And I do showcase that in a lot of the South Bay punk rap full album, 10 songs that's going to be coming out.
Good shit. And if anything,
About fucking shit up and killing motherfuckers.
We won't go into those details. You know, how many bodies I have, but it's a lot, you know.
I got too many bodies. I'm running up on your bitch. I'm on your block.
Yeah, of course. We're all riding chucks with blunts and 4 days. Bomb weed, skinny jeans, be in my pan-day. Loving D, yeah, special C and cotton, my kangs.
fuck yeah. And hopefully then in the near future, as we continue to get nice and cozy with all of the very, very fascinating personalities, the good old BioGang, the BioFreaks, hopefully we can go a little bit deeper upon a second date session, Slim, and listen to that album, one, with you, early on, a little bit before it releases, but also maybe we can talk about some of the stories in an Under the Skin session. I think that could be really fun, because that's something I personally love to do on the show, but I'm trying to follow the advice of different minds in the Crosscast as far as, you know, definitely cooking up more casual shit. And then that's the first date, right? You don't exactly want to name drop and trauma dump when you go to McDonald's with a new lady. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. It's like, here's a fucking McChicken. Also, I was, you know, gaped when I was a lot younger. It's like, whoa, like, what are you talking about? Like, you gotta get them that clown juice a couple more times and then talk about the gaping. You know what I mean? But
The only time that I got that was when I signed to BioFreak. It was a very fun experience. I mean, I missed prison sex because it was over there. I had to ask for it. It was free. Lots of partners, you know. know what I mean?
Mm.
He came to my door, my cell, every day and gave me it. It was fine. It was fine. I have to pay for it.
That's why they call him Slim.
I don't think you gentlemen realize we have made like at least like 2 hours worth of like 10-second reels for Instagram.
Yeah. All the editing, all the time that's going to take to chunk out all of these highlights to just be like, it's a kind of a Brain Dead Guna podcast. Like,
This is the BioGang podcast.
oh, yeah. BioFreak gooning sesh. I'm kidding. But good shit, honestly. And
Goonies never say die.
goonies never say die. Gooners, they say kill yourself.
Next time, Sean, we'll try to get like Jay Bentley, Blinky. We'll definitely have Freak Show on next episode for sure. Because I want to get Jay Bentley, I want to get Blinky, I want to get Freak Show again because obviously
Demented. Get Demented in there. Yeah.
Demented in there, and then we got fucking Zach Meister, Band of the God, and T-Lolly Rot, and you know, what's that?
Plan Z.
Plan Z.
Plan Z, yeah.
That's going to be up your alley, Sean, is like Plan Z. We just signed them. Basically, they're like this two-piece sort of trap metal. They do more gore hop, huh, Freak?
Yeah, gore hop, horror metal.
Yeah, and like we just signed them, and they're really cool guys. Like they're Freak Show's homies and stuff like that, and those guys are fucking awesome. Like they got like a unique sound going, and then we got all of our guys that aren't necessarily signed with BioFreak Records, but like you know they're still our homies. So in BioFreak we have the BioGang, which is all the BioFreak artists that are actually signed, and then what did you say it was, Freak?
No, so BioGang is like all of us,
Yeah.
all our associates, all of the people who rock with us, like
LSP.
Yeah, anybody who reps that Biohazard and supports and shows love, like anybody can be BioGang. But then we have the official BioFreak artists, like myself, Slim, Slam, Plan Z. We have 2 metal bands on the label, my own band,
Will I Kill.
and then we just signed a new band called Will I Kill. They are absolutely amazing. They're playing fucking the Corbin Bowl in about 2 weeks, so that should be epic. And then we have like our actual BioGang artists that they're with the label, but they're not like consistently putting out music. They mainly just do features or a song here and there. That would be like Matty Ice, K Busy, Hot Mess Jess, Shelly B, Mac Cheesy. We got a few BioGang artists, but then the rest, anybody can be BioGang. That's just whoever fucking reps with us, whoever fucking shows out for us. And if you want to fucking scream out BioGang with us at a show, then you're motherfucking BioGang.
Hell yeah. And so begins, well, not even begins, the culture has been around for a little bit now. Let's see, for the sake of history and to like get some dates in there, get some years in there, when was BioFreak Records established?
BioFreak Records was officially established. It was BioFreak Productions first, but BioFreak Records was officially a thing in 2018.
Okay.
I'll say 2019 is when we started like really putting out music. But we got real serious and started signing more artists. Probably about 2020. Yeah, like right after COVID is when we started getting real serious. More opportunities coming up, and really putting pedal to the metal.
Hell yeah. And therefore, if anything, BioFreak Records as a culture it's still in its pre-adolescence, I would say. You know, it's still pretty young, but the thing is with that adolescence or pre-adolescence, it is still very young. There's still plenty of energy. It's still running around the house and screaming bloody murder, pissing off the parents. But still, that's what gives it its boom. You know, that's what gives it its punch. And I really look forward to what BioFreak Records has to present, the records and EPs, all the artists that I have yet to look into.
Soon, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We got a BioFreak Records compilation album coming out soon too.
Ooh, okay.
And we've been getting a lot of love from other labels in the underground. If you've ever heard of the artist Scum, he's the owner of Lyrical Snuff Productions, a huge label in the underground horrorcore gore hop scene, and a lot of their artists show a lot of love to BioFreak. We perform at Gorefest every year out in Denver. They have another label, Grim Reality. We just got invited to perform at Underground United in Arizona.
Ooh, shit.
So we do a lot of traveling, and they put us on a lot. Like the cult leader of LSP, fucking Bloody Ruckus. He's bringing me out to Iowa and Nebraska next month for shows, and so we're all over the place. We're definitely growing. We got a lot of love in the underground, and we're just trying to keep the movement going and fucking see where we can take it.
Yeah, seriously. And in that case too, I can definitely attempt to manifest this, but as per my interests and my fascination with specific supergroups already well established, like Exosociety, I'm developing like a real profound fascination with partaking in writing and creating some lo-fi hip-hop. So chances are, if I can actually get some shit together, being that, well, doing lo-fi hip-hop will be a lot easier than assembling a 5 to 6 person band, let alone the financial investments for album covers, etc. We'll see, but I'm thinking that Midrift, which is the name of the project that I'm planning to do, it was originally going to be between me and another person, but they decided to ditch me. Them and their whole family after 7 years over some stupid political shit. Chances are I'm going to be taking the reins on Midrift, and I'm going to be making it serious, just like most of the things that we've been talking about all these years, including my present band, with maybe one song out, but 10 albums, people, worth of lyrics and concepts ready to go, and just acquiring musicians, acquiring money to get that push forward, right? Well, with Midrift, I'm thinking I'm going to take that seriously as well. That way I can become a better lyricist, but Midrift might find its home with BioFreak Records, so we'll see. Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I look forward to hearing the project, brother.
Fuck yeah, dude. Congrats on all your projects and all your fucking endeavors that you're doing, too. And your podcast, too. Shit, I know that's not an easy thing all the time.
No, especially not the time zone differences and shit when I'm trying to interview Australian or Malaysian or Indonesian, Russian, whatever bands. Like, it's usually a day difference sometimes. Sometimes it's 9:34 p.m. the next day, and they're like, oh, I got to work in half an hour. I'm like, well, fuck, dude. I'm like, but it happens.
For groups, I would like to give a little, we do have a BioFreak super group coming.
Ooh, okay.
So, Demented is myself, Blinky, and Jay Bentley. And, we just signed Plan Z. So, Plan Z and Demented are coming together for a super group called the Wicked Wicked West.
Okay.
And, we got 2 tracks done already, and we're going to be unveiling it and dropping the album hopefully early 2026. You'll see us at doing shows, hopefully like Underground United, Gorefest, stuff like that, all over the place. and we're really excied to unveil that. So you guys heard it here. The Wicked West claims the demand.
Wicked West.
Correct.
That's fine.
Hey, Blinky, do you want to be in this interview too, or what?
Bro, took 2 minutes of the ball and hit.
It's my third podcast interview in the last week, and he's been on the sidelines for every single one, chiming in and talking shit.
Hey, I'm gonna be fully honest though. He is one of the best cheerleaders that we have on the team.
No, he is. We need to put him in a fucking high school girl's cheerleading outfit.
Yup.
Like
Give him
some
some pom-poms. Hey, Blinky, you would look good in a skirt, honestly.
And he only wears that behind closed doors with me.
Your only freaks account?
The peak of only freaks. The peak of only BioFreaks. This is fucking.
This is the start of only freaks right here. We're
This
starting
is.
that collab.
We're
Yeah.
we gotta have a bio. Okay. Take this out of the video, Sean.
Yes.
No.
No. Okay. We'll start a fucking dirty adult magazine. It'll be called Only Freaks, and it'll have the biohazard symbol next to it, and then it'll be all the male BioFreak artists dressed up in lingerie with like, one washing a motorcycle, one spraying the grass in like tights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I mean, I already...
Gayest great record label ever, I swear to God.
Hey, it's gotta be a medieval theme, though, since we're gonna have a lot of sword fighting.
Yeah. I dig that.
Lolly Rock.
Yeah, we'll leave it to Tony to do it.
Yeah, so fun fact, we have 3 Tonys on BioFreak.
Oh, really?
We have Tony Slam, we got T. Lollyrot, and we have Tony Howard, the vocalist of Asylum.
I see. Okay. Oh, that is that.
It's hard in our group chats when I just see Tony talking back.
He's like, hey, Tony. Hey, fuck you, Tony. Which Tony?
Yeah, I gotta start looking at the profile pictures to remember. Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Well, funny enough, we also have Asylum's bassist James, which my real name is James, but I go by Jay. But then we also have Jay Bentley that goes by Jay.
Oh my God.
And we have Jess.
We will soon be doing some more tracks with a new artist called Control, which is also a Jay Bentley.
Oh, you want to know some weird shit too? Check this, not weird, but cool. So the 2 of the members of Asylum are twin brothers, and 2 other members of Asylum are twin brothers as well.
Oh, that's a fucking.
You have 2 sets of. You have Fred and George and Fred and George.
Okay, so our drummer and bassists are identical twins, but then our rhythm guitarist is a twin. His brother is the other twin is not in Asylums, but they are in a band together called Past City Limits, and he comes to all of our shows. So we regularly have 2 sets of twins around.
So let me get this straight. Brief recap, okay? We got 4 J's, 3 Tonys, 1 record label. That's fucked. I would definitely not be able to keep up with that. And fucking, speaking of profile pictures, fucking Tony, you change your profile picture every goddamn day. It's so hard to keep up with that shit.
Yeah, I logged on to Facebook this morning and just seen, I like guys.
Oh no, the best one was my shit had a fucking mohawk or something. What'd you say?
I said the morning shit had a tail end attached to it.
And I thought you were talking about my shit, because mine had a tail end attached to it. Because I got pegged the other night, and it just didn't work out.
Oh my God. All right.
Oh.
Well,
Have we covered everything, Sean?
I think we have, yeah. I think we've covered everything for the first date session. I think the only thing about close to an hour and a half that I would want to cover before we go ahead and depart for the night would be outside of BioFreak Records. That way there's no positive bias. right? Maybe not even trap metal artists, but maybe Slim. This would be emo bands or Hot Topic friendly bands. For Freak Show, this would be bands that you've worked with before. What artists would you guys want to see us get in contact with and attempt to host in the future on the Anatomy Crosscast?
Freak, you want to go first?
I'll go first. Asylums and Will I Kill? No,
You motherfucker.
I'm about to say those two as well, though, honestly.
You know what? That's hard. I'm a fan of so many different bands, and I don't even know a lot of the bands that are still active anymore. But look, I'm excited for that. Digest the Womb. We'll get Infinectomy on.
I was gonna say them too.
Yeah, we have yet to get the reincarnated Infinectomy on the show, so look forward to that, people.
We're working hard right now.
Yeah, you are.
So,
You know?
the bands that I would love to see, I'm creating my own band right now. No, we don't have any tracks right now.
Boo.
In their precedent. We don't have a band name yet or any
Why the
merch.
fuck are you not in there?
What's that?
I said, why are you not practicing with them, motherfucker?
I was, and then you guys called, and here I am. So I would love to see this band get on. I've known these guys since I was 13 or so. We met rigging. I started rigging at a very young age, just who my father was. So I've known them my entire life, and now I live with them. They are some of the best people in general in my life, along with Freak Show and his wife, and Tony, obviously, and whatever the fuck his boyfriend's name is. Other than that, though, we're going to go with like a
I thought you were my boyfriend.
Are we official still? I thought you broke
keep
up with me when I got
changing
paid.
You keep changing the fucking terms.
There has been an affair.
Profile pictures. Me, though,
Yeah,
I
got
would
me
love
there.
I would love to see Cottonmouth Kings because they are some of my good friends as well. I've worked with them numerous times. Great friends with them. Or DGAF. Another ones would definitely be Hollywood Undead and Headpiece. As a kid, I used to run away to Hollywood at midnight just to go to house parties that Hollywood Undead performing at back when Swamp Song was coming out. So that one's always going to be there. Infinectomy. These are the bands that I and yes, Slam, I actually listened to Infinectomy, and I tell my boys they love you too. I'm like, they think you look gay, but they love your band. Infect me.
Infect me.
Infect me.
Did you guys... Okay, I know Slim and Freak Show know the lore. Do you know about that, fucking Sean?
What lore? Or the Infectomy?
Infectomy lore?
Oh, yeah. I know about the Infectomy lore. All these motherfuckers mispronouncing your name or mispronouncing the band's name, some on purpose. And you're like, motherfucker, now I have a reason to go on Reddit. And
Actually,
according to my calculations.
You reply to every hate mail, and I fucking love it. You should kill them on every reply. Like, yeah, it's great.
What's your favorite that stands out?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, when that dude was like, yeah, well, Tony Slam was a big thing in 2016 and 17, then he fell off, and then he posted, like, a picture of you with a wig on, and I was like, and you killed him with some line or something, and I was like, that's my boy.
It is definitely getting
Into that time.
boys,
It's getting to that time.
where I have to get home to my kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, honestly,
I actually have another podcast. I'm working with another guy called Big Ant. Me and Freak Show are on a song with him.
Okay.
Called Say Goodnight. It's almost done. My verse has to be changed just a little bit. Other than that, we're good. So I'll be on that podcast with him as well. Big Ant. Shout out to you, my boy, as well. But yes, it's been a great fucking interview. Tony Slam, you already know I love you. And for the fucking the podcast that I'm on, it's been fucking amazing, dude. You guys
Good.
are absolutely cool as fuck. I'd love to be on again solo or with my band or just with BioGang.
Yeah.
Anything that you guys would like to me, just reach out, obviously.
absolutely. Well, I do think then that tonight, on the 8th of March now at 9:45 p.m. Mountain Standard Time / Pacific Time Zone, bouncing back between Phoenix, Arizona, and California. This has been the Anatomy Crosscast in its first rendition, diving into the trap metal / punk rap / rap in general catered session, organized and recommended by our good host, our good co-host, that being Tony Slam, who is half and half between the world of slam and rap. Period. This is why I got him on. Both that and he was simping for the show at one point. Just kidding.
True.
Like, good shit. But that will be the end. And just like the great eternal music machine, no matter what genre, let's keep cranking, motherfucker.
I do. I want to shout out Freakshow's wife, actually, Jess, because she has been so accommodating to me, as well as with Freakshow, for when I was homeless, when I couldn't afford food, anything. If I'm ever depressed, they're right there. Straight up Freakshow, you are family to me. Your family is family to me. Shout out to you again, Tony Slam. You are literally my little brother from maybe the same mother. I don't know. We're still blank at this point. Those are two huge shout outs that I got to give to the two people that are right here. This is my family. These are people that I can depend on when I need something, or if I just need an ear to talk to. Tony Slam, you've been there for numerous things. Both of them help to produce and engineer most of my newer music coming out, and I appreciate you guys going back and forth and getting it perfect for me, since I suck at computer work. But yeah, definitely a huge shout out to your fiance, or your wife, fiance Jess. Please tell her I said this as well, because I love the fuck out of her. She's always there, just whether it's there to be there for me, or cooking good food, or just watching TV and spitting the shit while you're in the studio. So shout out to you and your entire family. Straight the fuck up.
Much love, brother. I would like to give a shout out to my whole BioFreak roster. Everybody been putting in work. Everybody been grinding and hustling and pushing this movement forward. My demented brothers, Blinky and Jay Bentley. I definitely wouldn't be the artist I am now without them. Asylums, the whole Mass Gang. Everybody on LSP and GRE that been putting us on. Just everybody that's just been supporting and showing love. BioGang for life, baby. And make sure
BioFreak!
out on all major platforms, my new album, Goat Eaters. Go check that shit out, baby.
We will indeed.
Best album he's fucking made. No bullshit.
Yes.
On the drive to work one time, at an hour drive, listened to it full through and through. There was absolutely nothing wrong with anything, and they were so heartfelt. Doctor will always be my favorite, I think. One of my favorite songs by you in general. But yeah, every song on there, Proud to Be a Freak, Welcome. Everything was just fucking perfect.
Good.
Chef's
Mint, chef's kiss.
You fucking, hey, you salted that shit, my boy.
little pinch of seasoning. All right, boys. Well, with the shout-outs out of the way, I want to do something unique. I want to do something that we haven't done on the Anatomy Crosscast before. Just like I did just now, which I'm going to edit that shit out because that was just me. We're all going to go, let's keep cranking, okay? So, 3, 2, 1, let's keep cranking. Yeah!